Hello, and thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Sentinels to Digital Edition Waiting Room. Last time we defeated Baron Blade. Today we'll be facing off against Citizen Dawn. Couple of housekeeping items before I begin. First, we'll select our random environment for today, which will be Wagner Mars Base. I actually don't know too much about this environment, but I do know that it has interactions with fire damage that can be bothersome for Absolute Zero. That's the only thing that stands out in my head from the couple of times I've been here, so something to be cautious about. Not too bothersome. We have large amounts of ongoing removal in this team, which is something that will be very beneficial for Citizen Dawn as well, as she has numerous ongoings that are moderately to rather heavily scary. So it'll be good to have options to get rid of them. Now, a couple of notes about this matchup. Citizen Dawn does a large amount of AoE damage, especially compared to Baron Blade. This means that Absolute Zero's health total is going to be more threatened than it was previously. There is an asterisk here. Some of that AoE damage is going to be fire, and some of that is going to be cold, which may or may not prove to be beneficial for Absolute Zero. But all things considered, it is likely this is going to be a null point calibration game for him. Other things of note, Citizen Dawn has the mechanic where she will flip one time the first time that there are at least 5 citizen cards in the trash, and then on the flip side she will be invincible, and she will only flip back if at the start of her turn there are at least 5 citizen cards in play. Of note, Citizen Dawn herself is a citizen card. So generally what one would want to do here is either kill Citizen Dawn before she flips at all, which is something you can do if the citizens who are on the table are not particularly threatening to you, such that you can afford to let them all stay around and you don't need to kill more than a couple of them. The other strategy that you can often employ, besides just doing it the hard way, is just having the least threatening citizens, 3 or 4 of them, stay out on the table, killing all the rest of them until such time as the condition is met, and then on the start phase, Citizen Dawn is going to flip immediately when she sees the 5 in the trash, and then flip again when she sees the 5 on the table. So just flip, and then that mechanic is resolved. Now, for my purposes, I actually have a bit of a cheat code because Wraith is on my team. Wraith has an ongoing, or an item rather, which will let me send cards from the top of the deck into the discard pile. So, presuming things go moderately decently, I'm going to be able to just leave citizens on the table and then start milling a bunch of citizens into the discard, which will really accelerate that secondary insta-flip condition if I don't find myself in a position where Bunker and Absolute Zero just zerg her down before I even have to think about mechanics. A lot of this is going to depend on which citizens are revealed during setup, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now, discovering 5 minus 1, so 4 citizen cards I'm discovering here. There's 1, 2. Getting Citizen Truth is always rather inconvenient for the start. Okay, so this is not my favorite, but this could absolutely have been worse. Mostly the things I don't want to see from citizens at the start of the game are ones which are providing setup removal. So Citizen Truth here, all of his allies are immune to damage, which includes Citizen Dawn. Additionally, he has -1 damage taken to himself, and he would have a special interaction if Dare was played. Citizen Blood, by himself, is going to be dealing 1 damage to the lowest HP target, and he has additional effects if Sweat or Tears were in play. Hammer, if Anvil wasn't played, he would be taking less damage. Other than that, he just does 3 AoE fire damage, which is pretty heavy. That's definitely probably something we want to get rid of after Citizen Truth is off of the table. Citizen Summer is going to be doing 3 well, not quite AoE, 3 multi-target damage based off of who has the most cards in play. Now, conveniently enough, most cards in play is almost assuredly going to be somebody amongst Wraith, Absolute Zero, and Bunker. I am perfectly happy if Absolute Zero takes that fire damage after I've got some level of setup. So I'm effectively reading Citizen Summer as past the first turn or so, just hitting Absolute Zero, getting me some damage or healing, and then 3 damage to somebody else. Whereas Citizen Hammer, that 3 damage across the table, that's going to be 3, 6, 9, 12, and then whatever Absolute Zero does with it. So definitely a top priority Citizen Hammer, definitely a top priority Citizen Truth. Citizen Summer, don't care. The other citizens who are named after seasons, they can interact with my setup, with my items and my ongoings. Those are the ones I'm going to be worried about. And then lastly, Citizen Blood, same thing. His damage I'm not too worried about, but Tears discarding my cards, that's annoying. That's something I'm going to want to worry about. So if Tears does show up, I'm going to want to get rid of Tears, unless I'm at a point where Tachyon has drawn the team more cards than I need. Beyond that, Citizen Dawn's Nemesis, Expatriate, is not in the game, so I don't have to worry about that. And I did want to introduce variations for my heroes. What I'm going to do is just sweep through the team. I'm going to shuffle each one of them. Whoever's on top is who I'm going to run with, and I might rearrange my team if I feel like it's helpful. Legacy is staying as his base variation. Tachyon has swapped to her first appearance version, which in my opinion is stronger than her base by a lot. Wraith has gotten first appearance, which I also think is stronger than her base. I think all of her variations are stronger than her base, if I'm being honest. Absolute Zero has gotten his variation. That will have more than usual use in this matchup. That's good. And Bunker will be receiving his first appearance, which, once again, I believe is stronger than his base. Not by as much as the others, though. Bunker, his Stealth Suit variation is the one I was hoping to roll into. All that done, I believe I am ready to get started. Citizen Dawn's first turn in the start phase. The graveyard is checked. There are 0 citizens in the discard pile. Citizen Dawn does not flip. There are no other start phase effects except for Citizen Summer, who does not activate because the other seasons are not in play. Play phase, play a card. Now, what I'm hoping to see here is maybe a Devastating Aurora, or a citizen I don't care about. What I don't want to see is an ongoing I do care about. Blinding Blast. I need to draw my cards for my heroes, I've just realized, because I'm going to be discarding one very shortly. But Blinding Blast is a card that I'm happy to see. Discarding a card is inconvenient, taking damage is inconvenient, but that's not anywhere close to the worst that Citizen Dawn could do. So this is one of those matchups that's funny. And Baron Blade is a little bit like this as well. I'll get that 2 energy to every hero resolved. Where at 5 heroes, the startup is disproportionately strong, right? And Citizen Dawn, perhaps one of the most dramatically impacted by this. When you have a 3-hero team starting with 2 citizens, not usually something you're even going to worry about. And the thing about Citizen Dawn is once you've dealt with her mechanic and once you've got the table clean and there's no problematic citizens or ongoings, Citizen Dawn's not coming back from that. The only hope that Citizen Dawn has is her ongoing, which will revive her citizens. But if she never played good ones to begin with, Citizen Dawn's not going to really do anything. Now, in a 5-hero game where she's beginning with 4 citizens, much more likely that Citizen Dawn is going to have threats on the table from the get-go, and they may or may not continue to haunt you for the rest of the game. So just an interesting quirk about this matchup, and I'm also going to be discarding 1 card from each hero. I want to keep Takedown, I want to keep Bulletproof Skin, Dauntless Durability can go. Not sure if I'm going to be seeing 5 damage come from any source this entire game, so easy discard. Sucker Punch is probably the choice here. The other choice would be Nimble Strike. Sucker Punch is less useless than usual because of how many moderately low health targets there's going to be in this matchup. And it also helps with Citizen Truth. Or rather, it would if Tachyon wasn't going first so early in the turn order. In fact, I could swap Tachyon earlier, but since I've already started the villain's turn, I guess it's too late. I'm already locked in. I'm just going to get rid of a Nimble Strike, bank on Sucker Punch being more useful than the card draw. Impromptu Invention is excellent. Oh, this is a no-brainer, just my redundant copy of Micro-Targeting Computer. Still Life is going to be inconvenient to use in this matchup because the damage that's going to be coming from the villain is going to be fairly distributed across targets. But all things considered, it will still give me a play and a draw, if nothing else, which will be resistant to ongoing removal, so Cryofield Projector is a no-brainer here. And lastly, for Bunker, I'm just going to get rid... Bunker's opening is terrible here, and that's really unfortunate. So what I could do then is, since I can salvage an item card and I have no other power worth using here, I can just, well, if I had an item I would discard it because that would be free, but I don't. So I'm just going to get rid of Adhesive Foam Grenade. Okay, very good. Play phase resolved for Citizen Dawn. Now we go into the end phase. She will be dealing each hero with the highest... in fact, I've missed something already. Citizen Dawn deals 1 additional damage to all targets, because I forgot to mention, on advanced mode, Citizen Dawn will be doing +1 damage to... all citizens will be doing +1 damage, including Citizen Dawn herself. So now that I fixed that, end phase, the hero with the highest HP takes H-2, so 3. Highest HP takes 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. 3 + 1. And then next we go to Citizen Truth, no end phase effects. Citizen Blood will be doing lowest HP 2 Infernal. 2 Infernal to the lowest, which is Wraith. 1, 2. Next, Citizen Hammer is dealing 4 to everyone. 4 damage to everyone. Very scary. And lastly, Citizen Summer will be doing the 2 with the most cards in play. 4 fire damage each. I get to choose because we all have an equivalent amount of cards in play. So I'm just going to distribute that damage across Bunker and Legacy. I want to keep Absolute Zero's health high for now because I may need him to be a little aggressive to get some of these problem citizens off of the table in the early game. Okay, so now I'm going to start with Legacy. I think I want Takedown on the table immediately because this provides me with an out. I can start setting up immediately, and I have an out to Devastating Aurora if it comes out, or if another problem citizen shows up, this will be a solution to that citizen. The question is, do I want to play the old 1-2 for 1 damage on Citizen Truth, and then bank that into the Takedown? And the answer to that will depend on how am I killing this card this turn. In fact, is there a way to kill both Citizen Truth and also Citizen Hammer in this turn cycle? Let's find out. Tachyon has access to Sucker Punch, and potentially I could give out a card draw to another hero and play both of these cards, Nimble Strike and Sucker Punch. So that would be 2 and 2, or in the case of this guy, 1 and 1. So if Legacy did Ol 1-2 and Galvanize, that would be 1 damage, puts him to 6, Galvanize. Galvanize on you means that Nimble Strike will be doing 3, -1, so 2. So I'm at 3 damage dealt, he's down to 4. And then Sucker Punch will do 2 more. So that line of play actually does work. If I did the Ol 1-2 to do 1 damage to Citizen Truth, then I get to play a card. I'm going to play Takedown. Power phase, I'm going to use Galvanize on Legacy. Oh yeah, there we go. And this is good. This clears off Citizen Truth so that Absolute Zero's Lose Your Cool ability will actually do something useful instead of hitting an immune target. So this is good for me. And then lastly, I'm going to draw a card for draw phase. End phase, no effects. Kind of happy to see this, but kind of not really because I'm out of cards. And then end phase, no effects, pass turn. Tachyon's turn. We've already got this mapped out. I'm going to play Nimble Strike. That's going to do 2, 3 damage, so 1, 2. And then it's going to draw a card. Pretty happy to see that. Just play phase is complete. Enter power phase. I'm going to use my fast friend power, and I'm going to target a hero that is not Tachyon. Now the question is, who am I targeting? Well, the answer is not Wraith, because Wraith's hand is good. The answer could be Absolute Zero, perhaps. But I think I'm going to target Bunker, because Bunker's hand is terrible, and I would really, really love to find something, right? If I found Upgrade Mode, I believe is the one that will search me an item, or if I found Flat Cannon or Grenade Launcher, just anything for Bunker would be very helpful. So I'm going to target Bunker with this power, and I have found AP Gun. I'm happy with that. That's a good pick. Very good. And then, since I targeted a hero that is not Tachyon, I can play a card. I will do so. I'm going to play Sucker Punch. That's going to do 2. Oh man, I misread this card. It only does 1 damage. Okay, well that was a whoopsie on my end. So, not even worth playing at this point. I'm just going to play HUD Goggles. Okay. And then that is draw phase for me. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Alright, Wraith's turn. Now we're going to shotgun Impromptu Invention. It's going to draw a card, discover an item, and then it lets me play a card if I want to, which I will. Alright, I do have the ongoing removal here. This is one of the better ones available in this team comp, so happy to see it. Going to discover an item now. I found one. In fact, this is the very item I was hoping to find at some point in this matchup. This is going to reveal the top of the villain deck when I use it. I can put it back or I can discard it, and then I draw a card. Pretty sweet. This is going to be my way to outplay Citizen Don's gimmick if I choose to. I may or may not, because I know I have to get rid of him, and I have to get rid of him, and I may or may not want to get rid of this, and at that point she may not even fill out her board enough to care, but we'll see. And then last I get to play a card. Probably want to play Razor Ordnance just to contribute to killing Citizen Truth. Yes, that's what I'll do. So Razor Ordnance, a simple deal 1 target 3 damage. I'll do that. 1 target 3, 4, reduce by 1, 1, 2, 3 damage to Citizen Truth. This means that Absolute Zero's hero power will kill. Finally. Draw phase, draw a card. End phase, no effects, pass turn. Absolute Zero, start phase, no effects. Play phase, could be a still life here. Like a still life on Citizen Hammer. Just avoid that massive amount of AoE damage for a turn. This will depend on if I have a good way to kill him or not. So Absolute Zero will be doing hero power. That's going to be 2 heroes and 2 non-heroes. 1 cold plus 1, so 2 cold. First one kills you. Second one could do 2 to Hammer. Do I have a source of 2 damage from Bunker? I do, from this power. So still life on Citizen Hammer does not make sense. I would probably prefer to put this on Citizen Summer instead. Upon further inspection. So that's exactly what I'll do. Still life on Citizen Summer. It is done. Power phase, I'm going to do 2 hero targets, 2 cold damage. For this, I'm going to target Tachyon, 1, 2, and Bunker, 1, 2. Bunker can take a little bit of a beating because in theory, I'll have reactive plating in the future, so he'll be a little bit beefier. Alright, and then now I can do the 2 non-hero targets, the damage. So first is Citizen Truth. Alright, he's out of there. And then next is going to be Citizen Hammer, taking that 2 damage. Alright, next I will enter my draw phase, draw a card. Yep, that's not great. Alright, end phase, no effects. Pass turn. Bunker's turn. I have a plan for damage, so this means I cannot play recharge mode because that would ruin my plan for damage. Unless, I suppose, I chose to use tactical command on somebody. Don't know if that's what I want to do, but truly there's not really a whole lot else going on for Bunker this turn. So I'm just going to play Mounted AP Gun, get it on the table, start getting munitions on that. Next, I'm going to use Dispatch my power. I'm going to choose the option to do 1 target, 2 +1, 3 melee damage. Put that on Citizen Hammer. Citizen Hammer is dead. Okay. This is looking a lot more manageable. Board is stabilized, so as long as Citizen Dawn doesn't put out something really toxic, we're looking okay. Alright. Draw phase, draw a card. Very good. That's what we were hoping for the tankiness, so can afford to put a few more hits onto Bunker if I need to. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Alright, Environment's turn. Top card is going to be destroy 4 items and destroy a dome. Well, that's not great. So that destroys Bunker's AP cannon that he just played. That's destroying both of Wraith's items. It's destroying HUD goggles. And that's it. Unfortunate. Alright. Next up is Citizen Dawn's turn. Start phase checks the discard pile. I believe there are 2 in here now. I should be keeping up a little better on this counter. 2's not enough to flip, so we move on to Citizen Summer. No effect from Citizen Summer. Play phase. Play a card. Got a new citizen here. This is Citizen Battery. This is the one wait. Oh, Assault's not out. Okay. So Citizen Battery says if Citizen Assault was out, he would be doing 2 additional damage. And additionally, this is just going to be a single target 3 damage. This is one we can afford to just leave on the table indefinitely. Not worried about Citizen Battery. Alright. End phase, Citizen Dawn deals the hero with the highest HP, 3 + 1, so 4 damage to the highest HP. That is going to be absolute 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, Citizen Blood deals the lowest HP, 2 Infernal. Lowest HP is Bunker. 1, 2 Infernal to Bunker. Next is Citizen Summer, who would be dealing fire damage, but she cannot deal damage, so she doesn't. And lastly is Citizen Battery, who is dealing the target with the highest HP, 4 energy damage. Highest HP is my choice of Legacy or Tachyon. I think I would prefer if Tachyon took that damage. And that's the end of Citizen Dawn's second turn. Legacy's turn. I'm going to consider playing another Ol-1-2. Definitely playing Bulletproof Skin though. So what's the game plan here? Citizen Summer I think needs to go. Just get all the AoE damage away. That would put the discard pile at 3 out of 5 for the flip. What is the plan here? Oh, let's do it. Ol-1-2. It's going to do 2 damage to you. Lets me play a card. I'm going to play Bulletproof Skin. That's -1 damage dealt to Legacy. Next will be my power phase. I'm going to reapply Galvanize to the team. Draw phase, I'll draw a card. This is a great card. Happy to see it. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Tachyon's turn. Start phase, no effects. Play phase, let's start with Expedited Efficiency. I'm going to draw a card, and then I can play 2 cards. So first I want to, well, if I'm playing Quick Insight, I want to do it first. Let's take a moment to see if I want to play Sucker Punch and Accelerated Assault first. So Accelerated Assault will kill Citizen Summer, and it will also do a little bit of chip damage to Citizen Dawn. So I definitely don't want to play Sucker Punch this turn. That'll be one of my discards, so I'm going to start with Quick Insight. Draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3 cards drawn. Discard 2 cards. One of those cards will be Sucker Punch. The other card... This is awkward. I want to keep expedited efficiency, but I also want to keep my setup. So unfortunately, that's expedited efficiency will have to be the discard there. Quick Insight resolves. Second play for expedited efficiency, I'm going to play Pushing the Limits. Expedited efficiency resolves. Bonus play from Pushing the Limits, I'll play HUD Goggles. Bonus play from HUD Goggles, I'll play Accelerated Assault. That's going to deal 2 AoE damage. So first Citizen Summer is defeated. That is 3 out of 5 in the discard. 2 to you, 2 to you, and 2 to Citizen Dawn. Okay. That's all of my plays for my play phase. Now I enter my power phase. So the draw, I probably want to just give it to Tachyon herself this turn, because she would have no benefit from the additional effect of playing a card. But for thoroughness sake, let's see if there's anybody who really needs a draw here. Wraith has a decent play here in combat prowess, and then that could play micro-targeting computer. Not the best, but it's decent. Absolute Zero could probably stand to see some more cards here. Isothermic is useless right now because I'm on the first appearance version of Absolute Zero, so I don't have any fire damage at the moment. Bunker, it's not great, but I have stuff I can do, like get my mounted AP gun back, slow as that is. Things not looking great all around. So Tachyon, I think I'm okay giving the draw to Absolute Zero and just missing out on the additional card play for Tachyon, since I'll be refueling with Pushing the Limits and Bolster Allies for my next turn. So Absolute Zero, draw a card. That is acceptable. Draw phase for Tachyon, I draw 2 cards. 1/1 because of Pushing the Limits. End phase, no effects. And pass turn. Alright, Wraith's turn, I'm going to simply play Combat Prowess, and then Power Phase, I'm going to use Race Power. Look at the top card of the villain deck. Okay, Citizen Spring. This is the one that is going to be just healing citizens. That is something I'm perfectly happy to see come out on the table. And then I draw a card, I believe. If it was a target, I discover an item. Okay, sweet. Let's discover an item. You can tell I don't use this version of Wraith very often. Okay, this was a good item to discover. I can use another power, or I could draw 2 cards. Don't have another power to use, so... Or, what am I saying? I could use this power in order to play an item or to draw 2 cards. I could play Micro-Targeting Computer, since I know Devastating Aurora is not in the pipeline. But that doesn't really do anything for me because I have no projectile damage, so I'm going to draw the cards and hope to find something more useful. Sort of. Leverage will get me smoke bombs, which will help immensely with the damage that's coming in, but that's going to take a while to resolve, so we'll see. Draw phase, draw a card. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Alright, Absolute Zero, Still Life resolves and destroys itself. In being destroyed, it is going to allow me to draw a card and play a card. I've drawn a card, which is Coolant Blast, which is going to deal damage based off of the fire damage Absolute Zero took, which again is a whiff because of the variation that I'm on. Okay, so what I could do here is I could play another copy of Still Life, which will die immediately and give me another card draw and card play, but I'm not sure if that's very good. Would I prefer to just have Still Life do what it actually does? Soak a little bit more damage? That would soak 4 damage from him, or 4 damage from Citizen Dawn. Would I like to soak damage or do something else? Prospects are just terrible right now, though. Like, deploying my stuff doesn't get me anywhere. So yeah, I don't think 1 card draw is going to dig me out of this hole. So I'm going to just prevent that 4 damage and try again next turn. So The play I'm going to do is isothermic, followed by this power as my free play from isothermic. And then I'm going to enter my play phase. My play will be Still Life. And this one is going to target Citizen Dawn. Since these are both doing 4 damage, but Citizen Dawn could also do more damage from a play off the top of the deck. Which, I mean, she won't, because I know what the next card's going to be, but she could in theory. So I'm going to make her unable to damage me. And I believe that's going to be it for my friend Absolute Zero. Do I even want to use his power? I don't think so. I don't think that advances my game state very beneficially. So I'm going to just go to my draw phase, draw a card, and end phase, no effects, pass turn. Alright, Bunker's turn. Do I have someone who I would like to donate a power use to? I don't think so. Like, another Galvanize doesn't do anything. Another Tachyon card draw to somebody is kind of nice, I suppose. I could draw Absolute Zero some more cards and just pray that I find anything useful. A Wraith power represents putting an item on the table, which doesn't really help me too much. What is the play here? I want to do recharge mode, but if I do recharge mode, then I can't get my AP cannon back, so I guess the conservative play here is to play emergency shielding. And then for my power phase, I'm going to use the salvage one item ability. I'm going to get back the AP cannon. Draw phase, I'll draw 1 card. End phase, no effects, pass turn. Alright, environment's turn. We've revealed self-destruct sequence, and ongoing it says at the start of each hero's turn they can skip straight to their power phase, and if I've done so, put a card from their hand under this card. Then in the start phase, if there are no cards under self-destruct sequence, the Wagner Mars Base explodes and the game is over. Otherwise it would destroy a card under itself. That's terrible for me. I don't want to engage with this. I'm just going to destroy it with one of my ongoing removals and get on with my day. Alright, Citizen Dawn. Start phase checks the discard pile. There are 3 citizens out of 5. No flip. Play phase, play a card. We know it's Citizen Spring that was coming. 6 HP on Citizen Spring. Alright, end phase. Citizen Dawn would deal damage, but it is prevented because of Still Life. Next, Citizen Blood is going to do 2 infernal rather, to the lowest. The lowest I'm going to say is Bunker, who prevents it with emergency shielding. Since Bunker did not take any residual damage, the card stays on the table. Citizen Battery is going to deal 4 damage to the highest. The highest is Legacy, who reduces that by 1. 1, 2, 3. Next, Citizen Spring is going to make each citizen regain 1 HP, which I am perfectly fine happening. Do not care. And that's the end of the villain's turn. Okay, things are looking tough, but I think we can turn it around. For Legacy, I'm going to play Bolster Allies. Each hero draws a card. Another Bulletproof Skin, not great. However, Fleet of Foot is great. Also, Null Point Calibration, also great. Things are looking better. Alright, what did Bunker get? He got Piston Punch. Another pretty underwhelming card for Bunker. Next, a hero other than Legacy gets to play a card. A good choice could be Fleet of Foot, just to see more things before I commit to stuff. Another choice could be Grappling Hook, but I'm not in a hurry to play that because this isn't doing anything inhibitive, so don't really care about that. Now I could play Leverage, and if I played Leverage, that would let me have Smoke Bombs out on the table on Wraith's turn, which actually may be the best choice here. Another choice is trying to line up and abduct and interrogate, which I could do with Blood or even Battery perhaps. Question is, do I want to do that? Putting the hero at the citizen count at 4 That's a little spicy. I don't know if I want to bother with any abducting and interrogating just yet. Letting Absolute Zero play a card. What is that gonna do for me? That's gonna I would rather play Absolute Zero's cards on his actual turn, because if I'm playing Cold Snap, I want to benefit from Coolant Blast from the fire damage that this is dealing to him. So don't want to give that to Absolute Zero. And then Bunker, I could give him Mounted AP Gun on the table, which doesn't do anything, but at least it gets ammo faster, so it does something later. Things are a little tough. I think the best choice is just give it a simple old Fleet of Foot, or excuse me, the Wraith thing actually. Leverage. Gonna draw 4 cards. There's a Smoke Bomb. I'm just gonna search for another Smoke Bomb. There we go. I want to just keep these up for the rest of the game. That'll be one of Wraith's contributions to the fight. I think that'll help stabilize considerably. It's going to make Absolute Zero's life a little more inconvenient, but that's fine. We need the help. So, that was the play from Bolster Allies. Resolved. Very good. Power phase. Reapply Galvanize. And then draw phase. Draw 1 card. Okay, that's great. Things are looking good. We're stabilizing. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Alright, Tachyon, start phase. Deal myself 2 fixed fire damage because of pushing the limits. That's fine. Play phase, I'm going to start the thing off with Fleet of Foot. Draws everybody 1 card. Okay. Bunker just continuing to languish a little bit, unfortunately. Okay, and I've gotten a bonus play here. The bonus play doesn't... Oh boy, what am I going to do with this? These cards are not doing a whole lot for me right now, unfortunately. I have a whole lot of plays and not a whole lot of stuff to do with them. Guess I'll put down a Sonic Vortex. Yeah, just play some cards, get some damage out. That's going to be 3-4 damage to up to 8 targets. I'm going to do 4 to Citizen Dawn. And that is it. That's all I want to do. Alright, first play complete. Next play, Sucker Punch, why not? Let's play Sucker Punch, that's going to do 1-2 damage. 1-2 damage to Citizen Dawn. Alright, and then I'm not going to play a 3rd card. Draw phase, draw 1. Excuse me, I should be using a power. Whoops. Power phase, I'm going to have 1 hero draw 1 card. I'll just have Tachyon draw the card. Suppose I could have kept that ongoing destruction, but in fact, let me just do that. It's more fair that way since I'm doing that anyway. And then I'm drawing 1 extra card. So I drew this technically, and then for draw phase I drew these 2. Sorry for the weird sequencing, but it worked out. Alright, and then end phase, no effects, pass turn. Alright, race turn. We have our turn planned out fairly well here, I think. First we're grappling hooking to destroy self-destruct sequence, because I do not want to deal with that. Well, I mean, I dealt with it. I don't want to deal with it the way it wants me to deal with it. Okay, and then next, we're going to play... might be a good time to start getting some action out of this infrared eyepiece here. There we go. Let's get that out. Alright, enter power phase. I'm going to use infrared eyepiece first. Let's take a peek at the top of the villain deck. It is Citizen Winter. This is the one that's going to be making the other season citizens destroy stuff, my setup, and I kind of want to keep my ongoings. So into the discard pile you go. So here's where things are getting a little spicy. We got 4 citizens in the trash and we got 4 citizens on the table. So depending on what Citizen Dawn is doing next turn, I could see myself doing a double flip, hopefully. And if there's any ongoings or anything that come out, I do have tools to deal with those. I have Takedown to counter it. I have Blinding Speed and another grappling hook. So we're looking pretty decent. And for my second power from Wraith, I'm going to use... I still want to get that smoke bomb out. Just prevent a little bit of damage. So that's going to increase Wraith's damage by 1, and it's going to reduce damage dealt to my other heroes by 1 each while it is out. Alright, that's both of my powers. Draw phase, I'm going to draw 1 card. Okay. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Alright, Absolute Zero's turn. Still life. Start phase effect. Destroys itself. That's going to remove the cannot deal damage from Citizen Dawn, and I'm going to draw a card and play a card. Okay. Absolute Zero is going to be doing stuff now. This is good news. So first things first, let's get a null point on the table. Next, let's get Desperate Deployment on the table. That's going to summon an item card. As far as items go, we have a couple of options. I could either get Focused Apertures or I could get High Yield. I'd rather get High Yield on the table for a couple of reasons. One, since I'm going to be forced to deal cold damage to my teammates, at least for the time being, I'm not interested in increasing that. And also, since I want both of them eventually, I want High Yield cooling out because that gives me more flexibility in the meantime. I could draw more to dig into it, or I could use the power, which I have out already, Coolant Blast. So, yep, that's the one. We're getting this out. Very good. And then I deal myself 1 fire damage and 1 cold damage. Each of those are going to be increased and decreased by 1, so it's just 1. So 1 fire damage, and I'm just going to redirect that as cold damage. That's going to be 1 cold damage. Just heal it up. So just net 0 damage. And then the cold damage, that's going to come in 1 cold damage. Gain one life. All right, very good. Okay, so that was all my still life. I've got these 2 here. This is going to be the fire damage, and this will be the cold damage that have been dealt this turn. So 1 fire damage and 0 cold damage have been dealt so far. Play phase. Here's where things get funny. Do I want to Horfire? Probably. Let's do it. Right, Horfire, I'm going to deal 1 target, 2 cold damage. I'm going to just put that on myself. 1, 2. And then next, I deal a different target. What am I talking about? I want that to be on the boss. 1, 2, 3 cold damage. And then I'm going to deal myself the 2 fire damage, and then I'm just going to redirect it back as 2 health. So my health stays at 17, but I've dealt 2 extra fire damage. Next, I'm going to deal myself 1 cold, 1, and 1 fire. So that's going to be 1 to myself, and then I'm just going to heal it back up to 18, and that's 4 fire damage dealt this turn. There we go. Next, I'm going to enter my power phase. Power, I'm going to use Lose Your Cool. That's going to deal 2 hero targets. Myself will be one of them. And the other one is going to be Legacy, who has -2 damage taken, so he takes no damage from the other hit. Next, it's going to deal 2 non-heroes, 2 cold damage each. So 2 to Citizen Dawn, and it says up to, I believe, yes. It sure does, so just Citizen Dawn for now. Alright, so that's it for my power phase. Now I enter my draw phase. Draw one card. Does this do anything special? Does it change my plans any? Not particularly. So I'm going to simply just go to my end phase, and then high yield coolant tanks will activate. I will use Coolant Blast. It's going to deal a target cold damage equal to the amount of fire damage dealt to absolute 0 this turn, which is 4. So he's taken 4, increase it by 1, 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Alright, so absolute 0 is doing stuff. He's online. That's good news for me. Alright, next up is Bunker's turn. Bunker is not online and is not doing stuff. Very sad for Bunker. But what he can do, let's see. Now I could use Tactical Command on absolute 0. That would be dumb, but I could, and it would be funny. Let's see, what can I do? Anything fancy from Wraith that I would like to deploy item-wise? Not really. How about you, Tachyon? Don't really want to use your power. No. I think this is just going to be deploy the AP gun and hope it doesn't get killed again. And then next, I'm going to enter my power phase. There's no items in here. So I think it's just going to be deal one target 2 melee damage. Indeed it is. So let's do 3 damage to Citizen Dawn. There we go. We're making decent progress there. Next draw phase, I'm going to draw 1 card for Bunker. It is another copy of Mounted AP Gun. So when it gets killed, I'm all set. This is good news for me. Alright. In phase for Bunker, no effects, pass turn. Environment. They're playing Oxygen Leak. This is going to have the 3 targets with the highest HP deal 3 fixed toxic to themselves. So the highest HP is going to be Citizen Dawn, 1, 2, 3 fixed toxic. And then after Citizen Dawn is going to be Absolute 0, 1, 2, 3 fixed toxic. And then Wraith, 1, 2, 3 fixed toxic. Alright, no domes to destroy, so that's it for the environment. Citizen Dawn checks the discard pile. There are 4 citizens out of 5, no flip. Play Fate, or actually, Citizen Spring has no other citizens of the seasons, so no HP gain there. Play phase, we've revealed Healing Light. That is fine. That's just gonna heal everybody to full. And then gonna give 10 HP to Citizen Dawn. Back up to 67. That's fine. Not worth countering that. Next, end phase, Citizen Dawn is going to deal the highest 5 minus 2, so 4 damage after the increase. Highest HP is absolute 0. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And that was energy damage, yep, so no other effects. Next, Citizen Blood is dealing 2 Infernal to the lowest. The lowest is Tachyon. 1 Infernal to Tachyon. Battery is dealing 4 energy to the highest. The highest is now still Legacy or Absolute 0. I'm gonna put it on Legacy because he has more reduction, so 1, 2. And lastly, Spring is gonna give every citizen 1 HP. There we go. And that's the end of the villain turn. Yeah, definitely stabilizing. Things are feeling a lot better now. This will be a good time for Legacy to deploy that heroic intervention. Maybe. It's going to make Absolute Zero's turn really bad, so maybe not. Maybe I just use Smoke Bombs again for now, in terms of mitigation. Kind of a tough call. What else could Legacy do? Could deploy the Legacy Ring, which may or may not do anything this game. I really need Absolute Zero to be doing stuff, because he's my only damage right now, so I cannot really put my faith in Heroic Interception here. So I'm going to be playing Legacy Ring. Going to reapply Galvanize, and I'm going to draw a card for my draw phase, and then in my end phase I have no effects, so I'll pass my turn. Alright, Tachyon is going to deal herself 2 fire damage, fixed of course. For the play phase, we have some options here. So I have 3 plays total, yes. And can Blinding Speed, Synaptic Interrupt, and Light Speed Barrage. I think that's all pretty straightforward. Now, the problem with the Blinding Speed is I'm kind of just playing it just to play it, and I would just target Smoke Bombs, of course. Maybe it's better if I just hold on to it, even though I do have the Grappling Hook, and I do have the Flash, the Fueled Freeze, they call it. I guess it doesn't really do me much good for 1 extra damage on Light Speed Barrage, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm just going to play Synaptic Interrupt. Play 1, play 2 will be Light Speed Barrage. That's going to be 11, 12 damage. Takes you down to 56. That is not 56. There we go. Okay, shuffle in my deck. Very good. And for play number 3, I will not be playing a 3rd card. So let's go to my power phase. Power, Tachyon will be targeting herself probably. Possibly Bunker. I think Bunker's a lost cause. I don't think any further investment in Bunker is going to be fruitful. Okay, that's a good draw. Draw phase, draw 2 more cards. Okay, not bad. End phase, pass turn. So provided Tachyon does not die, she's got a pretty decent setup going into her next turn. These 2 quick insights could very well turn into a mega turn. And truly, if I can find Hyperspeed Dash, that would be a big game changer for me. Okay, great. So Wraith's turn, start phase, Smoke Bomb dies. I'm probably playing 8 again, so I won't change these values just yet, but we'll see. No ongoings that I need to worry about. Abduct and Interrogate, not making any plays with that. Micro-targeting computer, not interested in playing that. Have I missed any reactions, by the way? I'm not sure. I hope not. It'd be funny if I did. Okay. Let's play Razor Ordnance and start contributing to the damage here, I think, is the move. Okay. Yep, that looks good to me. Okay, and then for my power phase, one of my powers will be Utility Belt playing Smoke Bomb. There we go. Powers are buffs are back up. Second power is going to be Razor Ordnance, dealing 1 target 3, 4, 5 projectile damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, draw phase, I'll draw a card. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Absolute 0, you are up, my friend. Start phase, no effects. Play phase, what am I playing? I don't believe there's any items in here to salvage. Oh, there are actually. There is. Not a particularly great one, but there is an item. Okay, dealing myself a hefty chunk of fire damage is not a bad idea. The AoE cold damage here, not really anything that I want to be doing at the moment, but I don't believe it's going to be punishing me if I did this. What other options do I have? Not really any. I mean, I could modular repair, just for a little bit of bonus damage, which maybe I do. The real question is, am I going to be doing a double power line here, or am I going to do a single power line into drawing a card hoping to find more stuff? I don't know, I think I'm gonna put everything I have into burning Citizen Dawn right now. I'm just gonna fulfill my DPS destiny here. So salvage an item, I get my favorite card, which is Cryofield Projector. Very powerful stuff, that one. I get to play a card. The card I'm going to play is Cold Snap, probably. Yeah, that'll be the guy. So I'm going to deal myself 3 fire damage. 1, 2, 3. 3 has been dealt. And then that's going to bounce off as 3, 4 cold damage. I'm just going to go full damage on Citizen Dawn here. And And then I'm going to deal 1 + 1, 2 AoE cold damage. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Very good. Alright, Cold Snap is resolved. Modular Repair needs to finish resolving. I'm going to deal myself 1 fire and 1 cold. So 1 fire is going to be boop, and that's 1 more fire dealt, and that's going to bounce off as 2 cold on Citizen Dawn. And then I'm also dealing myself 1 cold. There we go. And then that has finished the resolution of Modular Repair. Now I enter my power phase. I'm going to just use Lose Your Coal again. So the 2 hero targets are going to be myself, 1, 2, and Legacy, because he is going to take 0 damage from it. And then up to 2 non-hero targets, that's just going to be Citizen Dawn taking 2 damage again. Alright. And then I'm going to draw a card from my draw phase. Ah, this is a big game changer actually. I could do a huge burst with this. Very good. That's the last piece I really was missing besides focused apertures. Alright, so end phase, I'm going to use another power, which will be Coolant Blast. That's going to deal 4, 5 cold more damage to Citizen Dawn. Okay, so her health's getting kind of low. This is good. So even if I lose a couple of heroes, I should be able to take this home with pretty much anyone between Tachyon or Wraith. Maybe Bunker if he ever gets his game together. So we'll see. Things look like they're fine. I'm not too worried. And that is the end of Absolute Zero's turn. Bunker, start phase. He is going to place ammo on the AP gun. Yeah, well, let's take a look, actually. Terrible. So I was wondering if there was any value in trying to make a play with my power. Clearly there isn't, unfortunately. Let me think. Do any powers here give me anything juicy? Not really. Tachyon could draw some cards and play a card. Wraith could deal 5 damage with Razor Ordnance, which isn't terrible. It would be irreducible, which is not currently relevant. Or could play an item from hand, which would be Micro-Targeting Computer, but I can just do that next turn for my play phase, so I'm not really worried about that. A power from Absolute Zero would just represent a little bit of healing and 2 more damage on Citizen Dawn. It'd actually be a little bit more healing. It would be, you know, the full 2 instead of just 1 healing on Absolute Zero. But on the other hand, it would be doing the full 2 damage to Legacy because it would be irreducible. I don't know. At that point, I'm just better off playing Piston Punch for damage. This might actually be a good time to use Recharge Mode. Recharge Mode, load up AP gun so that it can fire every turn. Yeah, I actually do think that is the play here. Let's Recharge Mode, put it on down. Play phase over. Power phase, cannot use powers as a result of Recharge Mode, so I'm going to go straight to my draw phase, and that draws 4 additional, so I'm drawing 5 cards total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can place any number, well, after my draw phase, go into my end phase, I can place any number of cards under any ordnance cards in play. So, let's go ahead and place, I don't know, what's not useful here? Second copy of Recharge Mode, probably not useful. So I believe I saw 2 copies of Expendable Power Bank. Don't need 2 copies of it. And if I got a 4th card under this, actually 3 cards is fine, because that means next turn there will be 4, and I'm going to use 2 left. Turn after that, it's going to go up to 3, I'm going to use 2, goes down to 1 left. Okay, so I've got 3 uses of AP Cannon in the tank already. I'm good. So pass turn. Okay, Mars Base, what do you got this time? All targets are immune to damage. Okay. On each hero's start phase, they could skip to their draw phase, and if they do, destroy this card. That is very annoying. I mean, Legacy could stand to do this. I would not gain the benefit of Galvanize for a turn cycle. Alternatively, Tachyon could do this. But the thing there is, now see, thinking, on each hero's start phase, that hero may skip. Okay, never mind. So pushing the limits is going to have to come first because it's mandatory, and decompression protocol is optional, and mandatories would have to happen first. I was considering if decompression could let me skip the burn from pushing the limits, which would be kind of funny. I think I'm kind of really hoping that Tachyon does something powerful here, in terms of just like doing a big play into either a light speed barrage or a hypersonic dash or something. So yeah, I'm just gonna, Legacy's gonna be the one to take that L for the team. Although, hold on, do I have ongoing destruction? I do. Okay, never mind. What am I even worried about here? This is just like a free time walk then for me, because I can't take any damage from Citizen Dawn and Co. this turn. Pretty neat. Alright, start phase, no effects. There are 4 out of 5 citizens in the discard pile. Play phase, oh yeah, this one doesn't affect either because there's no other seasons out. Play a card, that is Citizen Assault. Okay, so that is the 5th of 5 citizens out on the table. So the question here is, well, do I even care about him? Let's take a look. He does synergize with Battery, who is going to be doing +2 damage, and Assault in turn will also be doing +1 damage. I think that is okay. I'm not countering this with Legacy. I think I'm okay with this guy being out for at least a turn. Alright. There we go. Okay, so that's all said and done. Now we will go into the end phase. Citizen Dawn tries to do damage, can't because of the environment. Citizen Blood, likewise. Battery, likewise. Citizen Spring will be healing. Environment can't stop that. Well, maybe it can, who knows. I wonder if there's an environment that can stop healing. End phase, Citizen Assault will be doing damage, or trying to do so at least. He cannot. Alright, cool. Legacy, yep, you are skipping straight to your draw phase, my friend. So, in my start phase, I've skipped to my draw phase, and since I've done so, decompression protocol. Wait, hold on. I was gonna just destroy this with Tachyon's thingy. Yeah, never mind. Disregard my foolishness. I can play Heroic Interception for free instead. Yeah, oh, that's definitely the line. Okay, so play Heroic Interception. I take no damage from this. Legacy deals himself 3 fixed because I am immune to damage. Not even fixed damage can get through that. All right. And then power phase, I'm going to re-up Galvanize. Draw phase, I'm going to draw a card. Terrible card. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Alright, Tachyon is immune to damage thanks to Heroic Interception and also thanks to the environment. So, no damage from pushing the limits. Alright, first play is going to be Quick Insight. Draw 1, 2, 3 cards. Discards are going to be HUD and HUD. Terrible draws. Alright. Second play is going to be another Quick Insight. 1, 2, 3. Wow, these are just not good cards, unfortunately. Alright, and then my discards are going to be pushing the limits and one of these blinding speeds. Way too much speed. We're going way too fast. And then last is going to be blinding speed to get rid of this environment card. See ya. Alright. Now I am going to enter my power phase. Power is possibly going to be something I want to actually benefit from this turn. Let me think. So, how much juice am I cooking with here? Not enough. I think I want a Nimble Strike just to draw more cards, see more cards. And then if I find something good, I can have Bunker give me the tactical command in order to play Lightspeed Barrage or whatever I draw. Yeah, let's just do that. So I'm going to use my power to have someone that's not Tachyon draw a card. That someone I think would be... I don't know if Absolute Zero is the right pick here because he's not doing a lot this turn. If I gave it to Bunker, can he do anything fancy with it? Not really. How about you, Wraith? Not really. Okay, how about Legacy? He's got Thok, which I'm probably going to be playing on my next turn. So it truly doesn't matter who I give this card draw to. So I'm just going to give it to Absolute Zero. Cool beans. And then I'm going to play Nimble Strike. That's going to deal 2 +1, so 3 damage to Citizen Dawn, and it's going to draw me a card. Let's see Fleet of Foot. I was not a good enough gamer to draw Fleet of Foot. Too bad. All right. Draw phase. I'm going to draw 2 cards. Ah, never mind. I actually am a very good gamer, as it turns out. In phase, no effects. Pass turn. Wraith, start phase, discarding smoke bombs, and I don't think I'm replaying it this turn, so let's go ahead and get these damage takens back. Alright. No other start phase effects, so now I'm in my play phase. What am I playing for my play phase? Well, here's something I could do. I could do a meme and play Flashbang Projector and just bounce one of these back so I guarantee Citizen Dawn doesn't play anything spooky next turn. Let me think. So if I was... Here's the thing. What I want to do then is I would want an infrared eyepiece for sure. And if I look at the top card of the deck and it is a Citizen, I discard that Citizen and do something else with my other power. And that means on Citizen Dawn's next turn, Citizen Dawn's got a double flip, right? 5 in the discard, 5 on the table, flip, flip. And that's over with and done. And I can clear the rest of the Citizens, and it's a guaranteed win from there. So that is the positive outcome if I use infrared eyepiece. So now I just got to think about what I would want to do in the event that I use that power and it is not a Citizen. And I think in that situation, I would be happy just playing Flashbang Projector and Time Walking Citizen Dawn. Maybe. Or actually, no, I'm okay if it's just micro-targeting unit to deal a little bit more damage. I think that's fine. Let's do that. Play that. All right, so now I'm going to enter my power phase. First power is going to be Infrared Eyepiece, reveal the top of the villain deck. It is Blinding Blast. That's going to do 0 damage. Well, it's going to hit Legacy, but it's going to do 0 damage to everyone else. And discard a card, that's fine. I can leave that there. I don't care if that's there, that's fine. And then I draw a card. Then for my second power, I'm going to just use Razor Ordnance for 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Not bad. Yeah, you can really see when Wraith has utility built out, that's when she really comes alive. You know, you can just do anything with this character when utility builds out. It's not too fancy, you know, not dealing out crazy double-digit numbers like Absolute Zero is capable of, or Bunker sometimes, and you're not having like a million plays a turn like Tachyon, but you're just consistently contributing something, right? You're always doing something for the team. It's a nice character. Okay, that's both powers used. I'm going to draw a card. That's a good card to draw. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Okay, Absolute Zero, my friend. What are we going to do with you? I think it's a no-brainer. Well, it's actually not a no-brainer. Options include Cryofield Projector, which is going to bank 3 fixed fire for my next turn, which I could use for burst to kill. Or I could use Thermal Shockwave to do 3 targets, 2 cold damage each. Boy, that's real tough. Yeah, we're gonna play Cryofield. All right, that's my play. Power, not even worth. Well, I guess it's worth using it because it's a little bit of damage on the enemy. 1/2 damage on Citizen Dawn. Pretty cool. All right, and then for the 2 targets I've chosen, it's just going to be him and a Wraith, since they're immune to damage. Okay, Draw phase, draw a card. In phase, this time I'm going to have high yield tanks draw me another card. This is cool. I'm glad to see that. Alright. Next turn, bunker, start phase. We're going to load this up. Play phase. Alright, what are we cooking with here? We got 6 damage from bunker, 7 damage actually. And then if I play turret mode, it would be 8. Oh yeah, this is dead. Get out of here. I could play Piston Punch. This would deal a nice little 4 damage. It's not bad. Can do it again next turn. That's worth more than the +1 from turret mode. Well, not quite, because turret mode would also let me use this to punch for another 3 damage, 4 damage actually. So I was kidding. That was a joke. I was pranking. Yeah, I don't think Gatling Gun's worth any investment of time here. It does seem like the move is just turret mode this turn, turret mode next turn. I think we got this in the bag. I think we're okay, as long as the environment doesn't do anything crazy. Okay, so that's +1 damage, and I get to use 2 extra powers. Play phase done, power phase starts. I'm going to use mounted AP gun first. And it actually does matter what I spend because of my power. Yeah, you can go, you can go. What am I saying? Those are the ones that can stay. These can go. Expendable power bank and emergency shielding. There we go. Spent 2, that's going to deal 6, 7, 8 irreducible. 8 irreducible to Citizen Dawn. There we go. I get to use another power. I'm going to use my basic power. Deal 1 target, 2, 3, 4 melee damage. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 on Citizen Dawn. Draw phase, draw card. End phase, no effects. Pass turn. Alright, environment, don't do anything funny now. We got a dome, biosphere. After this is played, each hero target regains an HP. Would you look at that? The environment isn't out to get me after all. This might, now that I'm thinking about it, this might be the second time in Definitive Edition I've ever played this environment, because none of this stuff is familiar to me. I thought I knew this a little bit better. That's funny. Okay. Citizen Dawn's turn. Citizen Dawn, start phase, checks the discard pile. 4 citizens, no flip. Citizen Spring checks for other seasons in here. No of the seasons, no effect. Play phase, it was, I forgot. It was blinding. Yeah, that's right. So each hero is going to take 2, 3 damage. Everyone's immune except Legacy, so he's going to take 1, 2 damage. Okay, that's fine. And everyone's going to discard a card as well. Get rid of Bulletproof Skin for Legacy. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to get rid of this to send a message. It's a statement about Danger Sense as a card. Alright. Tachyon, Sucker Punch. Well, actually, do I want a meme? Let's get rid of Blinding Speed. Maybe I get to do Sucker Punch memes. Alright. Wraith, I believe I had Inventory Barrage, so I don't want to get rid of anything that's an item at this point. Let's get rid of, like, Abduct and Interrogate, I think. Or, I might be able to abduct. It doesn't matter. I don't need to overthink it. This is in the bag. Okay. Absolute 0. Discard this. Bunker. It's in the bag. Don't need to think about it. Just discard that. Cool. Alright. Play phase resolved. Now we go to the end phase. Citizen Dawn is going to deal the hero with the highest damage, which is not Legacy, so nothing. Citizen Blood deals the lowest damage, which is not Legacy, so nothing. Battery, highest, nothing. Spring is going to heal the citizens for 1. That does something. Legacy can't stop that. Sweet. And then Citizen Assault does nothing. Actually, no, wait, what am I talking about? It's going to hit Legacy for 2. 3, actually. So he's going to reduce that by 1 down to 2. So he takes that damage. There we go. Alright, make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, we got it all. Sweet. Okay, and Legacy's turn. Start phase. Interception is gone. Next is going to just be Thok. Right to the noggin of the enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Power phase, Galvanize. Draw phase, draw card. End phase, no effects, pass turn. Alright, Tachyon, start phase, take 2 fixed fire. Alright, play phase. Let's get this party on the road. We're going to start with Fleet of Foot. Wow, yeah, things are coming together for Tachyon. Gonna play Expedite Efficiency, draw a card, play 2 cards. Aha! I found it. I didn't find it when I wanted it, but I found it. Alright, so we're going to start with Sonic Vortex. It's going to do 3-4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, we're gonna do some memes. There we go. All right, that's resolved. Get to play another card. Let's play Sucker Punch. It's gonna do 2 damage. Very good. That is my first card play resolved. Second card play, has the time come? Has the time come for the Sucker Punch hard win condition on Citizen Dawn? It sure has. Citizen Dawn is at 2 or fewer HP, so Citizen Dawn is destroyed. So with that, we have successfully defeated Advanced Citizen Dawn. Thank you for catching today's episode, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.